Alright, it has been a long while. Alright, I know I haven't posted again. I always say this in every single video and I am ashamed of it, alright. Please don't flame me in my comments or Insta DMs because I know I'm trying, alright. Okay, so I'm gonna make this video about what exactly happened. First of all, I got my first client. Yeah. But it comes with a lot of pain points, new pain points that have come up in my life. Which is, first of all, I would like to put something out there once and for all. A 9 to 5 is a blessing for so many people. Uh, the business game, building a business from scratch, has fucked a lot of, uh, places in my head up because there are times it is 3 a.m. in India right now. The time I'm recording this, I don't have a watch around me, or else I would have shown you. Okay, so what I mean by this 9 to 5 is a blessing for so many people is not to slander anyone or make myself feel superior to the 9 to 5 people in any way. Alright, first of all, every single 9 to 5 person that I know and I'm socially connected to are earning more than me, even with the client or whatever. Now, I would say the business game essentially, and especially because I'm just starting out, is way way more taxing on the mind, body, whatever. And especially because it's not mainly because of my bad habits that this is happening. Now, the thing is, I would get random ideas. First of all, the main thing is it has fucked up my sleep, and I don't mean to the point that it is hurting me. Whatever pain points this comes from, like that comes from this, I am way more fulfilled than I'll ever be working for someone else or being in a job where I have to constantly, go after people. And if not, I would be at a position of potentially losing out in the source of income. Now, here's the thing, having a client comes with a lot of responsibilities, obviously, because taking up responsibilities is the service that I provide with my business model. Now, so what exactly is my business model? I like to prioritize gaming cafe clients. I do content shoots for them. I also help them manage the social media, and whatever wrong that you are doing with your marketing. I'll study that through and through, and if I feel like, hey, this needs to be worked on, I will tell you that. And if that is something that you want to be worked on, I fix that. All right, I fix everything that is wrong with that. Now, onboarding the first client, I wasn't all too excited until I got the payment, because what was decided with this client was that once I put out some number of content, let's say the decided number of reels is 20 reels. The first 4 reels, after I send them the first 4 reels, is when I get 50% of the payment. Now, here's the catch, 50% of the payment came into my account a few days ago. It did not make me feel happy in the slightest. All right, it did initially. I was like, okay, finally, I guess I'm doing something right. I wasn't. All right, a decent chunk of that 50% that I received was supposed to go to the camera crew that I hired that day, because it was an emergency shoot, and let's just say I wasn't left with much profit. Now I had to figure out what exactly I want to make the payment structure whenever I hire someone. All right, the margin is going lower and lower because the number of shoots went high, mainly because this content package was completely customized in accordance to what that client needs. Because of that, this content package, they customized it completely. They almost doubled the number of reels that they wanted, and doubled the number of, no, actually tripled the number of shoots that would happen in that package. Now, obviously, the price wasn't hiked all that much. They reduced every single thing off the list. They cut off every single sort of social media management and every single thing that was else provided in the package, and they decided to shoot up the number of reels and number of shoots. All right, With this, my cost already, the thing that costed me the most in that package was content shoots, because that is the pillar of every single thing that you're going to do with your marketing. Even if you're going to launch ads, that is going to be a video. All right. Now, the other pain point was that these people have very low lighting in which only professional cameras would survive. Now, because of this, having a professional camera setup is not everyone. It's not something everyone has, right? Professional cameras, they have to rent it. Even people working in agencies that mainly focus on working with professional cameras, they don't have professional cameras. Even my guys have to rent it. So the main cost comes from the camera renting, and then on top of that comes the cost of hiring them for the camera work. Now that was my main cost. Cost went up. The package that I said, I'll be very transparent with you. I should have set it way higher. All right, at least 1.5 times higher, because then I would have had a kind of profit that I would have been happy with. But then it was all like I'm very thankful to work with these clients, mainly because I have like, not, I wouldn't say I've made them friends, but then these people are really fun to work with, and that is something that I'll never regret. If you're a client of mine and it is fun to work with you, I don't care if there is any sort of less pay. I really don't mind. If you're fun to work with, you're fun to work with, and that is something that I'll always be satisfied with. Now, the thing is, what has this done to my social life, my mental health, and what my health has been looking like? Now, the thing is, right before I onboarded this client and received payment was the last 3 days coming up to the shoot, where I was supposed to, shoot all the videos, and then after that, in the 2 days, let's just say 5 days ago, was when everything started to basically, get a lot more stressful. Now, again, stressful is every single thing that I have been looking for. I saw this one quote on an Instagram post, or I think it was a reel. I can't complain for having a lot on my plate when the goal was to eat. and and that is exactly what I mean whenever I say that, hey, this stress does not put any sort of pressure on me or make me feel like, hey, I don't want to do this. This is exactly what I want to do, and this will be exactly what I do in the future. And this pressure times 3 times over, 4 times over, 5 times over, I can take it, because I will be very fulfilled. Now, people like to say when you start a business, you have the freedom to choose whenever you work or not. No. I started with no capital, all right. In this so in this model of business, you don't need capital. You can start without capital, and for that reason alone, people always like to think that this isn't as stressful as a 9 to 5. I kid you not, this is 24 fucking 7. I'll tell you why I say that. It is 3 in the morning right now. All right. I woke up from my sleep because I had ideas to write. All right. And people who, shared the same college as me, they'll recognize this book. I am not using this for any sort of sentimental value. It is just because that, hey, I wasn't as social as I would have been normally in college, and for that reason alone, I'm like, this holds some memories. There is some sentimental value to it. I can't argue, but then it just felt like this college did me so wrong. It was just right to use this as a stepping stone on whatever I build in the future. And these pages, they have every single thing, right? Every single thing about my business, what problems I'm facing. This also has the ideas that I wake up at 3 in the morning to write down. I kid you not, I have went to sleep at 11. Alright, 11 is very early for me, considering I used to be someone that slept at 4. I have been trying to fix it. I have been trying to avoid, taking too much melatonin pills just to fall asleep. And then it was all so fucking new to me that hey, I finally got this client. And if 2 weeks ago, if you told me I was getting a client, I would have been like, oh, okay, fine, like it'd be nice. I would have been rejoicing. But then coming to face the reality of getting clients, getting work, having to manage people, having to make sure people like I'm keeping the cost low even when I'm getting people to travel through train, cab, whatever. All right, it is a very decent bit of stressful. So I have went to sleep at 11, waking up at 3 randomly. I have been getting dreams of cost cutting in my dreams. I said that wrong. I have been getting dreams of cost cutting. All right, I legit had this one dream that I remember very vaguely. I was basically doing something on my notebook and talking about how I want to keep the costs low for this meeting. I don't want to spend that much on travel. I'd rather take the scooty instead of the bike, stuff like that. I am doing that in my dreams. And again, I'd like to say I can't cry, when I have a lot on my plate, when the goal was to eat. Because this just seems so inappropriate for my age. People are always telling me that, hey, you don't need to, start building a business at your age, you should study. The thing is, I have against this, all right? If I don't make this work, if I don't make Red Planet work, what comes next is MBA preparation for me, which I am not at all interested in. The fulfillment I feel in this, even if I earn less than most people earn in minimum wage jobs, the fulfillment I have right now will never compare to MBA. Alright, MBA will always make me feel lesser. I don't want to spend time networking with people again when I can actually start working, working with clients, new clients, people who have already done this MBA, and networking with them seems way, way more valuable than any sort of networking I'll do in MBA, except for making friends. Sure, I can give that the benefit of doubt. Making friends might be interesting, but then again, there's no fulfillment for me in there. Now, what happened um, to my physical health? Well, basically, because of my sleep, I was literally waking up at around 12, right? And then sometimes I even woke up at 4 in the evening because I wasn't able to sleep throughout the night up until 8 in the morning. There were times like these. And I have been trying to fix that. I do still also, I think today was the day when I only slept for like 5 hours. I slept at around 4 in the morning and I woke up at 10, which is 6 hours. All right. And then I started working again. I had a meeting at 11:30. I am also co-founding a company with a friend of mine, so I have also been handling meetings for him too. Working with brands and all of that, going on a back and forth with the same brand because they want the same amount of value that we want, but in a different way. Stuff like that. Creating packages for the event that we are hosting on the 31st, and all those things. So I won't say I'm doing too many things at the same time because I only have been focusing on Red Planet. The second company that I have been co-founding with my friend, the Big Check Events, ABC Events is the name in short. So ABC Events is just for namesake. I am not sharing any sort of revenue. It is just so my friend has someone to fall back on. Um, and I think that's it, honestly. What kind of effect like did it make on my life after onboarding this client? It was just constantly having to work, and I also spend time playing. I don't know if you can see, but then I am loading up World War Z right now to play with a friend. He just needed someone to talk to, so I decided let's just play games and talk over the game. And I think, yeah, there's going to be more clients in the future, but what we are doing right now is focusing on one client for this month so that we don't have to, make them feel like, hey, we're not available this time and that time. we want to be available, and I want to set up systems in place for the client where even if I wasn't available, they would get the same or better output if I drop myself out of it. So because only after that does that become a business, or else up until when I am having to constantly go to the venue and dropping by every now and then, it will be a job basically. So yeah, that is what life has been like, onboarding the first client and you know getting some traction finally with the बिजनेस मॉनेटरीली. वरना तो ऐसे ट्रायल्स तो फ्री में ही बांट रहा था मैं, which I'm not going to do ever again. So if you're watching this and you want some sort of tip, don't do free trials, all right? Even if you do, keep them very short, 3 days, a week, all that is fine. But then don't do monthly trials. I made that mistake, wasted about 3 months, all right? I have up until September before I need to get to a certain level of income for me to convince my parents that hey, I can make a living out of this. And yeah, there is what, it's end of May now, so June, July, September. I think I only have 3 months, so we'll make it happen. So see ya, bye bye.